I'm Renee Knorr, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I've been passionate about empowering women and enriching men. This opportunity in working with the Global Women Wealth Warriors have afforded me the pleasure of traveling outside of the country to be a support unit, most importantly, to help impact and change lives. Our ultimate purpose is to help others to become whole from finance, spiritual, mental, as well as physical. We know there are challenges and obstacles to get you to the next level. However, it's time for you to level up, boss up, and welcome to Power to Soar.
Your favorite song, incredible what you can achieve when she really believes the force behind everyone that's great. She'll sacrifice and do whatever it takes. Never underestimate the power of a woman.
Welcome, guys. Oh my goodness. It's such an honor as well as a privilege to be here today. That's right. I'm Renee Knorr, and welcome to the GW3 Voices Talk Show. My goodness, it has already been a full week, and you guys, we totally enjoyed the launch of our first episode. So this is episode 2, and oh my goodness, we have an amazing show that's lined up for you all. But first, before we get into the show, I want to make sure we acknowledge, this entire week, it has been a very impactful time. We had the opportunity and the honor to not only pay homage to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. He was not only a man that brought about change, he definitely was a man that was very compassionate and committed to making that sacrifice. And I'm grateful that now we're in position to be able to continue on carrying that legacy on. I had the opportunity of meeting the one and the only Miss Coretta King Scott, and it was indeed a true honor in being in her presence. And while we're here on this earth, we always say it's so important for us to be intentional with our time, intentional with our relationships. So I'm grateful that the Global Women Wealth Warriors and the GW3 Global Club, we have been showing up every day. That's right, every day from 12 to 2, right in the clubhouse. The whole concept with, regarding the voices, it came about because of the clubhouse. So now we're here welcoming you every Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all over the world. And I'm grateful to have this platform because now we're able to reach we're in more than 200 different countries. My God, God is so phenomenal. That's right. I'm very excited about that. Well, you know what I'd like to do before we go into our full program? I would like to bring up my dear friend, my goodness, Pastor Jeff. Pastor Jeff has been a real influential man in my life. And because of the clubhouse, we've actually had such an amazing bond. And I know you guys had an opportunity of hearing Pastor Jeff, but you know what? Let me see. Where is my Pastor Jeff? Are you here, Pastor Jeff?
I'm here, Renee. How are you?
I love it. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Well, happy Tuesday to you. You look so dapper. Every time I see you, you look great, Pastor Jeff.
Well, thank you, Renee. Now, you haven't had a proper introduction, Renee. So I
I
think I need to
know.
give you a proper introduction. A
Okay,
lady
I
of
would
your
love
caliber
that.
has to have a
Yes.
proper introduction. So we want to say welcome to Voices again. We want you to know that Renee is the creator of GW3 Global Club as well as the Global Women Wealth Warriors. Members are passionate about positively impacting the lives of women and girls while also enriching men to reach an abundance lifestyle, a lifestyle gained through financial literacy, learning new currency, and maintaining healthy eating for wellness. Renee is a global keynote speaker, an award winning international model, a marathon runner, and an award winning golfer, along with too many other accomplishments and awards for me to mention in this 1 hour. Now, I want you to put your hands together, clap those mics. We want you to welcome the beautiful one, the legend, the intelligent mentor, just to name a few, the woman herself, none other than Renee Knorr.
Woo! Yes! That's what I'm
I
talking
love doing
about.
that, Renee.
Woo! Now we can do the show. Yes, I love it, Pastor
Absolutely.
Jeff. Oh my God. Everybody's in the clubhouse. You should see them going crazy right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that. That's what I needed right there, Pastor Jeff. That's what I needed. Oh my goodness. You know, you've always brought so much great energy and you have been a blessing in my life. Woo! Thank you so very much for being here.
Absolutely, Renee. You have been a blessing also. Now, we know we talked last week. You're getting ready to take a trip. You're on your way to Dubai, and I absolutely love Dubai. Been there several times. Can't wait to go back again. But Renee, as you prepare to go to Dubai, especially with what was going on this week with the commemoration and remembering Martin Luther King Jr., and I believe you said something like that. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. As you prepare, what are you thinking?
Oh, Pastor Jeff, that's a great question. You know what I'm thinking right now? Because
Believe it, Renee, I'll be right back. Look like we're having some technical difficulties right now. Looks like we're having technical difficulties. Renee will be coming back here in a moment. But we pray and hope that you had a wonderful holiday, that you were able to reflect on the commemoration of Martin Luther King Jr., as well as, with the votes that's going on currently in our current situation, that no one should have to suffer an injustice. And so we pray that you are doing your part. I heard on Clubhouse this morning that several were inspired by listening to the speeches. And I did myself. I went back and listened to, matter of fact, his last speech and listened to the entire I Have a Dream speech again. And we want to encourage you. That's a part of what Renee does, is to encourage everyone to live out their dream. As we're about to talk about her going to Dubai, and that may be a dream of yours, and you absolutely can go. You've just got to make up your mind, as Renee would say. Put it on your calendar and begin not to make excuses, but begin to do what it takes for you to go. And I tell you, it will be a trip of a lifetime. You just don't know how much you're going to enjoy it. And so we want to say thank you again for joining Voices. And I know we have some other voices that are coming on tonight. I'm not sure who's coming on next, Mark, but did you know who actually is coming up next so that we can go ahead and move on so we don't prolong the program if you want to bring them up? There she is. All right.
you know, it's so crazy, Pastor Jeff. Even when you're filming, why do people call you? I have no idea.
I tried to hold it down, Renee. Wow.
Oh my goodness, you did a great job. Yes, tonight we having a great lineup. Not only do we have Oh my goodness, you're gonna love this. Some surprise guests, right? So we have, of course, we brought back amazing Miss Jen Ask, because Jen is a part of our program every week. When with her stories, she has an amazing lineup for us that's going to be continuously running throughout the program. That's what's so great, and she's going to be sharing some of her stories. And tonight we're meeting, oh my goodness, a very special star that's brought into our life. In addition to that, we're going to be doing an amazing interview with Miss Patricia Wooster, which, she's a part of the Breakfast with Champions. Had the opportunity of meeting her. She's an author of more than 15 books, Pastor Jeff. My
15.
goodness. Yes, so we're going to learn so much from her. In addition to that, we're going to be closing out the program with the man himself from The Voice, Mr. Manny Cabo, music entertainer.
That's exciting.
And, oh my goodness, yes.
The
Guess
man
what?
from The Voice on Voices. How fantastic is that?
Manny he's one of the newest authors. So we're very excited to celebrate him as well. This week is going to be extremely powerful. And that's why the title had to be The Power of Storytelling. My goodness.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to our incredible lineup. And as I always share with you, Pastor Jeff, look like I dressed you, because you're doggone well, looking very, very good, Pastor Jeff.
Don't tell the secret, Renee. Don't tell everybody.
I know. Well, you know what? How about if you join me later on in the show and we'll get this one started? How about that?
I look forward to it, Renee.
Awesome. Very good. Guys, I know we are so excited. Thanks so very much for tuning in with us. And again, Pastor Jeff is just one of those gents that just know how to serve, as well as, because of course with his service as being a former veteran, in addition to that, he knows how to continue on being the spotlight for our show, being the voice himself. If you haven't followed him on the Clubhouse, you need to do that, okay? Because he is definitely known as the Reset King. Most definitely, he is the Reset King. So today, you already know we're grateful to have not only the amazing Miss Jen Ask with us. Miss Jen Ask, that's her last name, Newman. Sorry about that, guys. And I'm going to be very authentic, and I'm going to be very real. I'm so grateful to have Jen back with us. She's a power player. Not only has she been able to be a videographer, she has been able to be a producer and sharing the stories of women's lives all over. She has more than 65 stories that have definitely been captivating. So my goodness, I'm so grateful to bring Miss Jen back with us this week with her presentation of one of her amazing stories. Jen, are you there, beautiful?
Hi, Renee. Thank
Hey,
you so much
gorgeous.
for having me back.
No, how are you doing? And happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. This is amazing and such an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh yes, I'm always looking forward to seeing your beautiful face, and I love what you've done with your hair. It's like you have these big old curly locks everywhere. For those in the Clubhouse, they can't see it, but guys, definitely, if you tune in to us on the YouTube station with Global Women Wealth Warriors, I will promise you're going to fall in love with her hair. So what are your tips? Gotta know what your tips are. Come on, share us.
For my hair? My tips for my hair?
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know. I mean, I try different products, but I diffuse it and then I let it dry. It's a little wild, but I like it. The bigger, the better, in my opinion. Yes. If I could have hair out to here, I would.
I like that also. I love big hair. Every now and then I have to go into my Diana Ross routine. And when I mean big hair, it has to go all the way down, like way down my butt. I don't have a problem with that at all. But I love your hair. You remind me a little bit. What is the actress name? Oh my goodness. I messed up last week.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Name. Oh my
Sarah.
goodness. Sarah.
Is her first name Sarah?
No, it's not Sarah. This particular actor. Okay, in the movie with Richard Gere. Okay, Richard Gere.
Someone said Julia Roberts.
There we go. That's it, Julia Roberts.
I I've never had that one
Thank
before.
you.
That's a good
Whoever
one.
helped us with that one, we need to send you something, okay? Please
Patricia.
DM me
Patricia
with your
helped us.
information, okay? Yes, her hair is beautiful. It really is, guys. It looks incredible. Yes. So everyone likes that. Everyone's sending out your love and everything like that. Now, I know for sure today you have a really great special gift to us, right? A special gift to us. Not only we're going to be meeting Miss Melanie Carter, but Miss Melanie Carter has such an inspirational story. She is a phenomenal woman. And with that, her story is all about rooted in joy. Oh my goodness. What an incredible title. You know, we're talking all about the power of storytelling. So give us a little bit more about her story. And please, if you don't mind, I would love for you to share, you know, if you have a video to support it as well, Jen. So share with us a little bit more about her story.
Well, if you're okay with it, Renee, I mean, I feel so honored to be in the presence of these women and help them bring their stories to light. In this way, my gift to them is that I have a skill set that allows me to help them tell their story through an artistic lens with video and photography and music and movement, all of the arts, because that's my background. And I've been able to curate a platform that helps them bring their stories to life in this way. And so Melanie, I'd love for Melanie to speak about her story, and I absolutely would love to show you a video. So I have the video. Maybe we can share that, and then Melanie can come on and talk about her story. Does that sound okay?
I absolutely love that. So how about this, guys? Let's enjoy Melanie's story, rooted in joy.
I am number 3 of 4 girls, born and raised in Washington, D.C. I started my undergraduate work at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Let me back up a little bit. So from the time I was, 6, 7, and 2, all through high school, I played the piano. My parents, we had 2 pianos. The good piano was upstairs, and then for some reason they kept the piano in the basement. I have no idea why. But my sisters and I, when we would play in the basement, I remember I would stand on top of the piano and I would sing Downtown by Patsy Cline. So I left Wisconsin. I came home. I contacted Howard University to find out what I needed to do to get into their school of fine arts. So I spent a year working, taking private voice lessons, and I applied to Howard. I auditioned and I got in. So I was working and going to school. I dropped out of school and got married and became a mother. That was a journey. That leg of my journey was something I could have never, ever anticipated. After about 10 years, I left. Our daughter died of SIDS. I remarried in 2008. 2008. Fast forwarding to the night my son was murdered. Basically, there was some kind of altercation and my son was shot and killed. It just made me feel like life was really meaningless. It was a club having an event, a promoter was going to be there. It was like an open mic, so everybody wanted to come and perform for this promoter. In this process of healing is being willing to look at the pain, to call it pain, and to be willing to allow myself to mourn. I know for me, just with all the things that happened over the decades, I've just never faced it. As an African-American, as a young African-American, a brown-skinned girl with quote-unquote kinky hair, coming up, not just from friends, but from teachers, from family. Oh, you're black, you're ugly, your hair is just not good hair, you're just ugly. And when you don't have anyone to tell you that's not true, you just believe it. Somewhere in me, I just started to believe that it was true. And unfortunately, that meant that I grew into a very desperate young woman, desperate to feel love. It wasn't until probably I got into my 40s that I woke up and I was like, no, you are beautiful. There is nothing wrong with you. I believe from all of that feeling of hopelessness, I'm finally at a place where I'm really starting to heal. When anyone is born, we see this precious, beautiful baby and we just want to love it and kiss on it and just protect it and give it everything it needs. I'm still that baby. We all are. We're all, I'm just bigger, that's all. I just got longer legs and everything else, but I'm still that person that deserves to be loved and protected and have everything that she needs. I've never stopped being that person. I just stopped believing. So yeah, I'm really now just at a point of just healing, and with whatever time I have left on this crazy planet, just making the most of it.
Wow. What an incredible, I felt her movement. What an incredible expression of just that amazing story. Jen, is it okay we welcome Melanie Carter to the stage with us?
Please.
Melanie.
Hi.
Oh, Melanie. Ooh, big hugs, Melanie. I was just like engulfed into your movements, into your story, Melanie. My goodness, thank you for your courage. I'm so honored that Jennifer was able to find you in such a remarkable story.
Yeah.
What were you going through? Tell us. When Jennifer gave you that phone call, how did that make you feel? Let's start there.
Well, it's funny. We actually were at an event, and she happened to just kind of see me there. We had kind of some discussion earlier, but she came to me and she told me about these video diaries, and I mean, my gut reaction was, no, I'm not doing that. But I said, you know what? I'm here. It was a retreat weekend. I said, I really want to make the most of this weekend. So I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to be completely open and vulnerable in this diary and just really tell my story. And when she sat down with me, we talked. She asked me a lot of questions. And I had no idea what she was going to put together. And when I saw it, I've seen that video at least 6 times now. And every time it just takes my breath away. I think, stories are extremely powerful. And we're lucky that we live in a time when, with podcasts and whatever you listen to, however you stream, you can hear stories from around the world, from all kinds of people, and just see the humanity of us all, especially in a time when we just all seem so divided, or that's, the picture that we get from the news. But underneath all that, you see there's just a want for some of the same things. We all want to be loved. We want to be accepted. We want to be acknowledged. And just as we're on that journey through life, things happen to us and we start to take on or take in things that really aren't ours to take in, especially if there's no one to tell us that's not yours, that's not true, don't listen to that. And I guess for me, I think if there's any takeaway for people is just to really be careful about what you let people tell you about yourself, and to even question the things that you tell yourself about yourself. Why? Where did that come from? Who told you that? Who made that rule? Who said that it had to be that way? You have to question everything, because you are still that beautiful soul that was born into the world however many years ago. You will never stop being that. You will always be that.
You were so right when you said that. It's all about that vibration. And as you were sharing that story, I was feeling your energy, how you just was pushing out that positive energy. It was like it was just flowing through you. Now, for sure, you've gone through some moments in your time that, of course, sorry about the tragedy with your children, and losing your baby is so, so hard. But look like what I've noticed. It seems as if you have been able to find that light back into your life.
Yeah. I think, in my son's, the passing of my son,
Yes.
I think that was in some ways a gift from him to me, through that sense of just hopelessness, just getting through that and working through that and coming out with a different understanding of life and perception. And I'm fortunate in that I do still have one son, and he's amazing. And we're both just healing and getting through this. It's been painful, but it's also been fruitful. The rain causes things to grow. So yeah.
Well, I like what you said also. You talked about in regard to what is not only what you're sharing, what you're telling yourself, because we talked about this every day. Yourself do listen. So what the words that you're reassuring yourself every day, who you are, even
exactly.
whose you are,
Yes.
And not only that, understanding that moment in your time. I always say you got to use forgiveness too, because forgiveness is such a strong word where we are, especially in the world that we're in right now. And every day, it's like that constant, we just have to keep moving forward. We just have to keep moving forward. What are some of the things that really inspire you? Because as I was watching you dance, girl, you reminded me of being in New Orleans. I was like, yes, yes. I love dancing. I love great energy. Yes. And I like those movements. I was like, you need to teach a dancing class over there. All right.
Wow. Well, that's one thing that never entered my mind.
But it was just so effortless for you. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I just decided, Jen asked me to do this thing, and I'm going to give it all I got. I'm not going to worry about how I look dancing in this video. And I just, took advantage of what has really turned out to be an incredible, just unbelievable opportunity. And just the feedback that I've gotten about the video. Again, it just goes to the power of storytelling and the power of vulnerability, because that's where we all connect. At the end of the day, we're all human and we all have stuff. And it's when we share that stuff, that's where we really, really connect. Take off all the superficial stuff, but it's our vulnerability that makes us human.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, I was sharing with Jen. I'm like, where is she? Because I need to connect with her. We need to do something really special. One thing about the Global Women Wealth Warriors and the GW3 Club, we are always looking for a new place to travel to so we can give more love. So share with me, where do you reside, beautiful, if you don't mind?
So I'm in the Washington, D.C. area, and
Yes.
everyone loves to come to the nation's capital. So you guys are more than welcome. I
Yes.
would love to hang out with you. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
We
that would be
have so
wonderful.
many of our sisters over there in the Washington, D.C. area. I was praying that you was going to say that. I'm like, oh. One of the things we're going to be doing as well, Melanie, and I would love for you to join us as well. We're going to do, of course, the African American Museum.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
It's so powerful within itself. When I visited DC, what people don't understand how large it is. It's literally, it's a 2-day experience.
Yeah.
Just to go down 4 levels and then travel back up 4 levels. But what's so great about, enjoying the opportunity of not only being able to connect with where we came from, where we are today, and then where we're going. And beautiful, you just did an amazing job of laying out, your legacy as that butterfly you were, just very innocent and also so connected with your movements and your flow. Thanks to Jennifer. Beautiful, you have an amazing way of bringing out the best in these ladies, Jen. I must say, my hat goes off to you. I would raise up my champagne glass. Next week, we'll have some champagne, so I can raise up my champagne glass to you, beautiful. All right?
Thank you.
So what would you like to leave, both you ladies, while we're wrapping up your segment? Of course, it's all about the power of storytelling. But share with us your closing words, or what you like to leave with words of wisdom, Melanie, as well as Jennifer.
Yeah, I would say give yourself grace every single day, and everyone else, and question everything.
Love it. Mm-hmm. And what about you, Jennifer?
And I would say that if there's a voice inside of you that wants to share your story, because everyone has one, share it, whether you write it or dance it or paint it or create a story with me, or whatever way you can express your story, do it. There's not one way, there are multiple ways. And I just believe so deeply that the world needs to hear stories, because like Melanie said, that is where we connect, in our vulnerability. So take a risk and share your story in whatever way feels right for you. There's a lot of power in it. And thank you, Renee, for having Melanie. She's such a gift with such a powerful and inspiring story. I'm so grateful to know you, Melanie.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Yes. Well, thank you both for being in my life, because you already know I'm going to do this. Come on, open up those arms. We got to do that group hug. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Ooh, wee. So grateful for you all being an inspiration to us. And again, thank you. And even I would say asante. All right. Well, guys, this particular segment has been brought to you by Her Story. Thank you so very much, Jennifer, for bringing in that amazing story by Miss Melanie Carter. And definitely, guys, that was the first, but it will not be the last time that you have an opportunity of seeing her beautiful face. Well, what we'll do, we'll come right back after this particular video. And I know for sure, for those who have been watching us on YouTube, please put the comments in. We'd love to hear from you. And then as well as for those who are tuning in to us in the Clubhouse, please DM us also in regard to what segment in that area that you absolutely adored, because I know for sure watching the video, it was just incredible. When we come back, we'll be joined by the amazing author, as well as another one of our storytellers. She's actually published more than 15 books while she's helping others to curate their stories as well. The one and only Patricia Wooster. But we'll be right back after this amazing video.
Of your favorite song. Incredible what you can achieve. When she really believes the force behind everyone that's
So excited to be back. And again, it was just an amazing story. Thanks again to Her Stories, Miss Jennifer Aks-Neuman. It was an incredible opportunity of getting to know Melanie. Yes, guys. If you'd like to see more stories like that, please DM us. Let us know, because as I share with you guys, Jennifer has over 65 stories, and maybe you too could be featured in one of her stories. Well, our next beautiful guest here, I've had the opportunity of meeting her also in the clubhouse. That's what this whole segment is all about, voices from the clubhouse, and now we have voices coming into your home. Miss Patricia Wooster. She has not only been an author for as it stands right now, 15 books, but also she has done an amazing job with helping others to tell their stories as well. We understand the power of storytelling, how it impacts lives. You know, we are readers, and we always say readers are definitely leaders. Readers are leaders. But with this beautiful one here, she's done even more things that's even more impacting others' groups' lives. And I'm looking forward to her being able to share some of her gifts as well as she comes into our room today. Miss Patricia Wooster, how are you doing, beautiful one?
Hi, Renee. So happy to be here. So happy to chat with everyone today. That was an amazing segment right before this.
Yes, wasn't it powerful? My goodness, it really was. Well, you know, you're amazing also. We're always used to seeing each other in the morning time. So this is our first time, Patricia, with the late night show. And you know, we still got to wake up early in the morning, girl. Okay. I know you. Okay, you're rubbing it in. You're rubbing it in. I promise you, we will have that champagne glass. As a matter of fact, I'll be traveling to Dubai, so we'll be filming live in Dubai for our next week's segment. So I'm really excited about that. But Patricia,
Amazing.
yes. You know, you are amazing. Every time you have the opportunity of presenting to the entire, you know, when you talk about, you know, not only your company, you know, the right impact, but also with just the stories of how to even get started as a author, you're a writer. Share with us, Patricia, with where you are in your life right now. Can you tell me, how did it even get started? Where did your journey begin? Please.
So it's pretty interesting because I always wrote in journals and, you know, little stories like in middle school and high school. But then when I went to college and got my creative writing degree, the day after I graduated, I had a parent tell me that I could never make a living as a writer. And so I was living in Kansas at the time. I'm in Florida now. And so I spent 10 years working as a corporate software sales executive. So, and didn't do any writing, none. And then when I started having kids back in 2004, and I stayed home with them, I started writing again, and I started with fiction, and it was terrible. It's terrible. I didn't take any lessons. I started pitching to agents, and of course I was getting rejected. And so I happened to meet a friend because we had just moved to Florida and met somebody here who had moved here from New York. And she did a lot of work for Hire Books and editing for a lot of these publishers. And so I was telling her that I wanted to break in, and she said, all these publishers need fact checkers. It's like the worst job, and they need them, but it's a way for you to start networking and reading a lot of books. And so I started doing that. And the next thing I knew, I had 50 or 60 manuscripts sitting in my inbox to check. And after a while, you know, I started thinking like, I can write these books. And at the time I had relationships then with the publishers. And so it was kind of using that sales skills I learned in corporate America to kind of work my way in a different way. And so when I had an opportunity and I was working with Simon & Schuster on a project, I just verbally pitched my idea, which was Ignite Your Spark, which was a personal development book for teens. And they loved the idea, and the editor actually helped me write the proposal. And so that was my foothold into the business. And so I wrote and published 12 books before I even got an agent. And it was the success with Ignite Your Spark that I started it within my community, joining some women's organizations, and you know the power of women getting together. And I started meeting all these really incredible business women, and they were getting terrible advice. And this is when books as part of your business or public speaking or something became super popular. And there's vanity publishers out there that, because books are popular now for business people, are very predatory to people. And so what happened is I was doing all these coffee dates, trying to give people better advice. And finally, one woman just said, well, will you coach me through the process? And that's where it began. And I was a referral business forever. So now I'm really niched down to where I primarily work with, there's a lot of athletes that are exiting athletics, that are now looking for their next thing. A ton of entrepreneurs. And then the corporate executives I usually work with are actually the ones who in a few years want to be doing their own thing. They want to be an entrepreneur. And so it's really that entrepreneurial spirit that understands the power in their story, and also combining that with the expertise that they've earned, whether through education or jobs or experiences. And they're wanting to give that to somebody else, create an impact for other people, and have it also impact their business. And so that's where I'm at now. Wooster Media, my husband just joined the business, and we are expanding and really trying to get as many stories as we can out there.
Absolutely love it. I appreciate how you share with your journey. Someone told you you were not going to be able to do it, and lo and behold, you took that and you ran with it. In addition to that, you have to understand, the gifts that you have and how you're going to continue on passing those gifts and passing it forward. With the group that we're in, we are absolutely building up more authors. And that's something that's important, because everyone does have a story. Everyone have a story. And I feel as if it's so important to make sure you have the right editor, as well as the right company as well. You know what I notice sometimes, Patricia, this is kind of like one of those ways where it could be a hit or miss, right? Sometimes there's some of the greatest books out there, but then I look at the product, it's like, this really doesn't jive with the story. So tell us a little bit more about how we could protect that, because to me, branding is everything. I love how your message is so dead on, it's so clear, right? Tell us how important it is to make sure that you brand your stories with the right storyteller or even publishing company. Tell us how important that is.
Yeah. So one of the first things that I did when I started working with people was, my number one goal was to bring traditional publishing standards to everyone, and making sure that people protected their credibility. Because if you think about it, we spend a lifetime making sure our LinkedIn profile looks amazing and doing a great job and being of service. And then we can write a book and put it out to a global audience. And because it's packaged wrong, or we took bad advice, we can really destroy that reputation very quickly. And so when it comes to the branding part of it, we really look at book cover design, professional editing, interior formatting. We want to make sure that the books that we help people with could be on the shelves at Barnes & Noble and you wouldn't know the difference. And, I do, because of Clubhouse particularly, I do a ton of discovery calls every week. And a lot of people are asking, I haven't started writing my book yet, because do you think I should traditional or self-publish my book? And my first thing back to them is, why does it matter? Are you going to write a lesser book if you're self-publishing? Like, every book that I work on is good enough to be traditionally published. That doesn't mean it will be, because there's other considerations at play, but the quality is there. And it's so important that we protect our story. It's also when it comes down to structure in a book. And I bought books from people that I respect so much, and they're such incredible people. But what happens is there's this tendency to think we need to justify that we're good enough to tell our story. And you hear this in Clubhouse rooms, you see people do this in videos, you hear it on sales calls. And so what they do is they front load their book with their story. So you just open it up and it jumps right into, I've accomplished this, I've gotten this award, I was here and I was there. And you have to remember, one, the person's already bought your book. You don't have to sell it anymore. Like they're opening the front page. They've already bought it. But more importantly is that in the back of subconsciously, when we buy books, we're thinking, what's in it for me? We're not buying a book because you want to know about Patricia Wooster. You probably don't know who I am, but you want a problem that I can solve, or a challenge or empathy that I may have, an understanding of an experience. And so it's really important to understand when we write books, how to structure them in a way that we are actually giving back to the reader. And we can trickle our story in through the book too, or tell various pieces of it as they travel through. Because if you do a book right, you're going to be building like no trust. They're going to be falling in love with you, and they're going to want to know more about you, but maybe not your resume in the front of the book. And so that's what's so important, is really having a good structure, a good framework for it. And then it's also looks matter, I mean, book cover design and how it's edited and formatted. And people kind of skip through the formatting, but if you look inside your favorite books, they're set up in a way that makes it really easy to read. So branding is kind of on the inside and on the outside of the book.
You are just phenomenal. I mean, I'm seeing all these messages in the chat. We're like, oh my God, we wish we'd have had her before. But you know what? We have you now, Patricia, and we're not going to let you go at all. For this year, for 2022, I know for sure we have over 25 new authors that's getting ready to come right out of the Global Women Wealth Warriors Club. And I want to make sure you are part of that transition, if that's okay with you, Patricia, because I absolutely love you. When you were sharing with us with the Breakfast with Champion, how you was just, my thing is usually always doing this, and right now I can't write down because, I'm like talking with you. It's like, but oh my goodness, there's so many other authors that need to hear this. And I want to make sure we do it the right way. So are you able to join us in this journey with these authors? I would love to bring you back into, not only just within what we're doing with the Clubhouse, but you know what, maybe we do something with a power Zoom workshop with you. What do you think about that, Patricia?
That would be amazing. Amazing. Yeah. My pleasure, for sure.
I just absolutely love you. I'm going to give you a hug too, because I love hugging. Come on now. Give me a hug, Patricia. Oh my God.
I gotcha.
Woo! We needed you. And I'm so glad that you are here with us right now. Beautiful. Well, this night is just going so great, Patricia. How about this? Our next guest is not only someone that we all adored and appreciated during the times of, reality show with Voices. How about that? Here we have the man himself, Mr. Manny Cabo. He's joining us this evening. So it's almost kind of like, The Voice welcomes the voices right here in the space that I love. Plus, guess what, Patricia? He too is now an author. So why don't we see one of his clips from when he was on The Voice, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a snippet.
I don't know where I'm going, but I should know where I've been. Hanging on to promises with the songs of yesterday. 'Cause I know what it means to walk along the lonely street of dreams. And here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone, yeah. And I made up my mind, I ain't wasting no more time. Here I go
Incredible.
Wasn't that like fire? Well,
Unbelievable.
Patricia, I know. Wasn't it fabulous? I'm so glad that we were able to not only capture that clip, but Patricia, I want you to come back with me. And not only are we going to bring you back, I want you to also get the opportunity of listening and hearing from this amazing interview with Mr. Manny Cabo. I am so grateful to have you here with us this evening. And you know what? Before we close out, how about we bring you back before we sign out with everyone? Is that okay with you?
That'd be great. That'd be wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Patricia. So very much. Guys, and without further ado, I'm right here just like shaking so much because here we go again. The man himself, Mr. Manny Cabo, all the way from New Jersey, Manny Cabo!
Wow, that's a lot of fanfare. That's a lot of fanfare for a bald guy and a mic. How are you, Renee?
Oh my goodness, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself? You know, as you know, it's
phenomenal now. My goodness. Well, we've been having an explosive evening. Manny, here we go again. I mean, we were just together in New York City, right from the app. And that's how I had the opportunity of meeting you. And look at you now, Manny. You look incredible. What is your secrets? Please tell me. I need to know.
It's called being in these rooms with you, so I can constantly remain uplifted. Absolutely. No, it's I've been pretty fortunate, Ray. As you know, I've been through a pretty difficult streak the past 5 months, you know, not to mention 5 months prior to losing my dad to COVID, but still, you know, Hurricane Ida pretty much wiped me clean. And you were in the midst of all that, you know, 3 totaled cars, 3 leveled rooms, my 21 years of my livelihood wiped out. But the wonderful thing about that is that you still have to remain grateful for experiences because, you know, when you think, and this will tie into the comments later for, you know, when we talk about the book, when you think about focusing on the void, that's all you're going to get. But if you surround yourself with positivity, you focus on the gratitude element of the things that you currently have, focus on that, you'll soon realize that the things that you thought were extremely important that washed away weren't really that important at all. It was almost like a cleansing for me. So I took that approach, and believe me, that has been the impetus for me to keep on going and stay resilient in this path. And, you know, this industry is difficult enough for me to not have, you know, these additional hardships. But nonetheless, I'm here. I'm stronger than ever. And thanks to people like yourself that have supported me throughout this crazy journey, I'm still here doing what I love to do.
Well, you know, we absolutely love your mission. We love what you stand for. But you know what I realized also with the Clubhouse? We were able to find genuine people. I'm going to, you know, it was genuine people because think about it. We have had relationships for years. And what I have been able to find from that Clubhouse, people like yourself, alongside with Pastor Jeff, I mean, the list can goes on and on, Patricia, and here we are now bonding with real relationships. Currently, right now, we have a Clubhouse full of individuals that's like, yeah, Manny, we love you. And I'll say this, if you are in the Clubhouse, I highly encourage you guys to tune into us right here on YouTube with Global Women Wealth Warriors, alongside with international broadcasting media. There's 2 different ways that you could definitely see us live. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. We're in over 200 different countries, Manny. And, you know,
that's incredible.
I know, right? And think about it. It's the relationships right from this app. Every last relationship has been from the
Now, hold on. You know, you got to give yourself some credit here because since day one, since I first trolled into your room, you have been nothing but generous, always, you know, leaning into people and offering so much value. So, you know what? The element of karma for you, there's a lot of great things coming your way. So don't sell yourself short. You know, you deserve it. You truly do, because you certainly reciprocate on a totally different level.
I received that. I truly received that, Manny. Yes, I received
you have
that.
No
I'm
choice.
going to say thank you. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Well, you know, I remember the room that I was in and I heard your voice. And for all of those, you can hear his voice here, but when you hear his voice in the Clubhouse, it's like, who is that? That's how we were. Now, since we've met you, you've met my daughter, Manny, you have done I mean, you've been a blessing to us for, and I would say even millions of people worldwide, of course, being on The Voice with your amazing talents. But I want to know currently right now, as you said, you've gone through your transformation, and that was something that you needed to go through, right? They always say during that time, we always find that character. And you already talked about the perseverance, which you had to overcome. And now you've done this amazing cleansing. I see that you are a different Manny now. Share with us, where are you right now? What are some of the projects that you're working on? And my goodness, please tell us about that book.
Yeah, well, I've definitely been busy behind the scenes, certainly working on some more music. And probably toward the ends of February, I'm going to be releasing my first full-length album. And it'll probably be the strongest, most emotionally oriented piece of music that I've done. There's a lot of stories in there. There's a lot of verbiage from the heart, because it takes place, 10 years back to the last 5 months. So there's a culmination of emotions that run rampant through this LP. And I'm really, really excited. I've been really fortunate to work side by side with my dear friend, one of my best friends, producer, co-writers, you name it, Dave Rico. So I'm very fortunate to have some amazing people, amazingly talented people in my corner. And that's been at the forefront of everything that I've been able to do thus far. Obviously, doing photo shoots. For those of you who don't know, I'm an editorial music photographer, and I've made a living in assisting other artists with their visual branding, because that's a huge element of our careers. So with that being said, I'm just taking this creative road to the maximum. This is all I know. This is my world. This is the passion that I know I was born with. And, my dad may no longer be here with us, but he's with me in spirit, and he's the reason why I became anything creative. And I got to continue his legacy too. So that's like the little impetus behind me, always nudging me. No, you can't quit right now. You got a lot of inspiration, a lot of positive words, and a lot of upliftment to still carry out in this world. And other than that, I'm also working on a book, which I can't believe I'm saying this, but I don't have 13 books, as mentioned earlier, but it's a start.
Books. It was 15 books.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 15. Sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, this is my first book. And believe me, I'm extremely proud of it. A lot of work went into this. A lot of heartfelt truth went into it. So, I could only wish that if I had to describe it, it's essentially a journey of emotions, peaks and valleys of hardships and successes. But the most important element of the book that I want people to take away is the fact that we all have passions, right? And we all have aspirations, but on many occasions, arriving at these successes can be filled with, hardships, as I mentioned before, and unexpected doldrums. Or are they blessings? See where I'm going with this? So the title of the book, Soul, means that the drive comes from within, the intuition, the gut feeling, if you will. And sometimes we certainly have to embrace the stillness, take a breath, and trust the process. But above all, trust your truth, because the universe loves a stubborn artist. And Renee, as well as anyone, I'm as obstinate as they come. And when you think you're defeated, it could actually be that turning point to bigger and more promising and fruitful ventures. So that's the one thing I really want people to take away. When you're done reading the book, that's the feeling, that's the anticipation that I want you guys to walk away with. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to unleash it to the world.
Manny, just while you were expressing, the different ingredients that you put into this book, that's why you made that recipe was just so, as
it's
it was saying, it was like, I really want to jump into it like right now. I need my copy of my book, Manny. I need that copy of my book. I'll share this with you also, Manny, because with our audacious goals that we have for 2022, I want to help you in not only getting the message, getting your word out there. We love authors. We definitely would love to have your book a part of our book club.
Oh, it would be an honor. Are you kidding me?
Yes, absolutely. Currently, right now, we're reading Tim Story's book right now. We'll be doing our review as of January the 30th, right in the clubhouse. And that's going to be on a Sunday. Love for you to join us during that time. In addition to this, watch this, Manny. We'll be ready to go on a 22-city tour. So let me see how we can incorporate some music, throughout our journeys.
I see
That's
where
what
you're
got us
going.
together in the
I
first
smell what you're
place.
cooking. I smell what you're cooking. I love it.
I'm always thinking, I'm always going to be creative,
Yes,
looking
you
for
are.
ways for all of us to win together. That's just how I do it, right?
And that's
And
why we're together, and that's why we work together. So
yes.
it's not a coincidence,
No, it's not a coincidence. What Manny did for us for the Breakfast with Champions fashion show in New York City on that rooftop was just a pure blessing. You brought the music, you brought your energy, your skills. It was just incredible. And still till today, that was probably one of the most unforgettable experiences that we could ever have had, because that was our way of all of us coming together, meeting everybody for the very first time.
I was
Man,
just
that
about
was
to say that.
electrifying.
It's great to finally put the actual face to the avatar, I'm
I
like,
love
that's Renee. That the hair, it's actually real. I see it.
Yeah, who was someone mentioned that she's so used to seeing the faces like the little round
Yeah.
circles, and it's true. We're
Yeah.
so used to seeing those faces that way. Well, I want to say this, Manny.
Yeah.
Tell us, can we order your book? Is it on Amazon? How do we get our copy of your book? Please let us know.
Well, I tell you what, right now it's in the final stages, or the winter stages, that they would say. And as soon as I get the information,
Yes.
believe me, I'm going to blow up my own spot. I'm going to let everybody know, because this is a book. Of course, I want everybody to know that I wrote it, right? But I want everybody to benefit from it. That's the key ingredient that I want. I want everyone to say, man, I read Manny's book and I get it. I completely get it. And I wish I would have got this book, decades ago. Unfortunately, it was just recently that it's been finished. But nonetheless, I want it to be an indispensable piece of reading for everyone, because it's heartfelt. It truly is. And I think everyone will be able to resonate with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody's in the clubhouse right now live. They're like, we can't wait to get our copy. We can't wait
Everybody
to
in
get our copy.
Clubhouse.
Make sure you DM us. Definitely. We want Manny's book. So as soon as the book is released, you already know we're going to have a big old party. You all know how we do.
Nice.
We're here not only to connect, we love collaborating, and you already know how we put the extra Cajun sauce on top when it comes down to celebrating. Okay.
I'm savoring over here. Stop.
I know, right? Well, Manny, it has been a joy as well as an honor to have you here with us, and we could not have thought of anyone else for as our first music artist to bring onto the show other than you, the man himself from The Voice, here with us on The Voices.
It's humbling. It really is. But you guys are great. And the honor's all mine. Trust me.
Yes. Well, Manny, what are some of the words that you like to leave with our guests for the words of encouragement before we wrap up this segment of GW3 Voices Talk Show?
Definitely. I think we all need to not take ourselves so seriously, right? We need to live more in the moment and appreciate every breath that we take, because, losing my dad in oh my God, it was a span of 7 days. I realized the importance of so many individual things that we all take for granted on a daily basis. One of those things was breathing. I wake up every morning, I focus on that, and I take the biggest breath, and I'm like, oh, thank you for allowing me another day where I can pursue my dreams and follow your truth. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. The old adage that says it is impossible to consistently be someone that you're not. So follow your own truth, man. Don't follow paths. Make your own way. So
I love it. I absolutely love it. You and I, we have something that we share in common as well. We both lost our dad during this whole COVID time. But what I love, the fact that our dads are still with us. Yeah. And as I share this journey, my mom and my dad now, they live through me. So every opportunity, I always, when I meet celebrities, I'm like, I'm meeting you on behalf of, my mother, my dad. And they're like, sometimes I say not sometimes, I say their names. Even with Sydney, Sir Sidney Poitier, when I met him before, of course, Mom was.
Oh, how lucky are you? I remember growing up when I was a kid watching TV. He was amazing. He truly was.
Earlier part of the conversation, of course, we celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as well. And I met Coretta King Scott as well, and like you said, Some people take all of this for granted. We cannot take these relationships for granted. And as I meet them, I always say, I'm meeting you on behalf of Willie Mae Wilson, you know, and then they're like, well, who is that? I said, that's my proud mother. She would have been so grateful to have met you. So since she's no longer with us today, I'm meeting you on behalf of them. And as you share it with us, you know, we both lost our fathers right prior, you know, during the whole COVID. And where we are today, we're still building their legacy. We're still living the life that they would want us to live. And with that, they're going to continue on living through us. And we're going to keep on making them proud. And we're going to just keep on building that generational wealth. Because you know why, Manny? Because we can. And it's our responsibility and it's our duty to do just our part. Like you said, everyone, we're all born with gifts, guys. We are all born with gifts. We need you to use all of your gifts so we can celebrate you as well. I want to see if we could bring everyone back. I know this is not something we planned, but I would love for us to bring everyone back. Let's see if we can do it. Yeah,
There she is.
right, Patricia. Yeah, and Pastor Jeff. Yes.
Pastor Jeff.
One more.
Manny.
Let me tell you, Pastor Jeff has watched my journey, and I got to tell, love you, brother. Thank you so much for always keeping me in your thoughts, man. Totally grateful for you.
Absolutely.
Love you as well, Manny.
Well, guys, thank you so very much for this week's episode, The Power of Storytelling. And Pastor Jeff, man, we absolutely love you. And like you would say, there's nothing you can do about it, right, Pastor Jeff?
Absolutely. It has been a victorious, vibrant, great voices tonight. Renee, I just love Manny and Jen and Patricia with the 15 books and all those nuggets that she gave, and with Melanie Carter, Lord have mercy, her message. I mean, her stories is really getting to me, Renee. So I'm looking forward to the next time she's on.
Yes.
I think we all
you know
are.
What? The next time we'll be filming live straight from Dubai, and I cannot wait, guys. So I'm grateful for you all to be a part of this this week's episode of GW3 Voices, the talk show. And we look forward to you guys tuning in with us next week, Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And my goodness, guys, make sure you go to our YouTube channel as well so you can capture this particular episode. But until then, be safe, always have love, and do your part in being a better version of yourself every day.
Very eloquent.
And out this evening. Thank you for joining us for this week's Voices.